On our journey from Romania into Bulgaria, we found that we had a couple of hitchhikers on board the van. This beautiful praying mantis and huge emperor moth were completely harmless, and it was brilliant to see things like those sharing a ride with us in the van. We've had a little cycle down the road from our campsite last night. It's taken us maybe, what, 20 minutes? Maybe not even 20 minutes. What a stunning place this is. We didn't know about this when we booked this campsite. So yeah, maybe this has got potential for another night sometime in the future. The most easterly point in Bulgaria, and just down the road from our campsite on the way to our next destination.
Hi, so we've left our campsite Malkiat Oasis. We spent our first 2 nights in Bulgaria there, a little quiet site. In fact, we were the only camper van on that site for the whole 2 nights. The lady that owns it said it was the end of the season. Very nice it was too, very simple, but they did have a rather lush little swimming pool that we enjoyed. We did go down to the seaside, which was really lovely, and yeah, generally speaking we chilled out. Ben did quite a bit of editing and more photography. We had a couple of meals out and just generally had a nice time. So now we're heading to west, aren't we, Ben?
Yes, we're heading back west into central Bulgaria.
And yeah, we look forward to meeting more Bulgarian people and enjoying more culture. All food seems to be quite good as well, so that we'll enjoy more of that. So we'll see you soon. This monument was opened on November the 26th, 1981 to commemorate 1,300 years of the state of Bulgaria. Ospara to Simeon in the 7th to 10th century. It's just absolutely phenomenal. The lion on the top is a symbol of power, and it can be seen from over 30 kilometres away. That's how big it is. Pretty big, huh?
It's very big. It was all built by Bulgarian specialists under the leadership of Professor Karum Damianov. This is the top of the 1,300 steps that come from the town down there up to this memorial. 1,300 meaning 1 step for each year since the founding of the Bulgarian state. We drove up here. this was built at the time when the communists were in charge of this country. They built hundreds of memorials, largely to themselves and how great they were and their relationships with countries like Russia and so on. They also built a few which were more about the history of the country itself, and this is one of those. So this obviously dates back to commemorate a time that was 1,300 years ago, and obviously at that time there was no political party in charge of Bulgaria. So this is really about commemorating the history of Bulgaria, not whichever party happened to have been in charge at the time. And as a result of that, I believe, from what we've read, the Bulgarian people are actually really happy about this. People come here for their wedding photographs and various celebrations. We actually saw a wedding taking place at the hall, which is just behind the monument here earlier today. And these monuments are very well looked after. In contrast, the ones which are pure Communist Party propaganda are not looked after anymore, probably for good reason. Of course, you can read anything you like on Wikipedia. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So I'd be really interested to hear. Put a comment down below if you're from Bulgaria and you've got some views of monuments like this. You know, what do you actually think? What do the people today really think about this sort of stuff? Sarah's just getting dinner together in the sunset. What an amazing spot this is. What's cooking, darling?
Lasagna.
Wicked. Now, we spent a really nice night last night on the car park of the Shumen Memorial. It was pretty quiet.
But we had a thunderstorm, lightning and everything and tons of rain.
Yeah, there was a lot of lightning, and given the exposed nature of this site, we decided to move the van because we thought, don't really want to be struck by lightning. You imagine the solar panels on the roof might attract that a little bit, so we moved on from there, and so we spent the night on the car park. It was perfectly
rather
great.
Than the wild place that we pitched it in the first place.
Yeah. We were hoping to get a photograph of the van with the blue moon in the background, because that was last night, the full moon with the blue moon, but unfortunately it was a bit cloudy, so it didn't show itself, so I'll save that for another day. We're out on a walk this morning. We're not following a prescribed trail, we're making it up as we go along, but trusty All Trails is leading us the way. And the first place is the edge of this plateau where there's a monastery carved into the rock of the cliffside down here. Now, unfortunately, from this position, you can't really see it, and the walk goes down. You see the steps here.
Down.
You can go down, but it goes all the way down here to the bottom, and then you can see up to these cliffs here, which is where the monastery is carved into caves in the face of that cliff. Now, we don't mind walking down there, but of course the problem is we've got to get back up again, and sorry guys, but we just don't fancy that today. So we're going to continue walking around the top edge of the plateau and take it easy, and we'll bring you along on the way and show you what it's like later. Shumen Fortress then, the original home of the city of Shumen, and it's replaced now with the modern city, which you can see down here. A bit larger than this version. And we've just been into the museum, which you can see just here, which contains a whole load of artifacts which were discovered during the excavation of this site. Unfortunately, we were told photography is forbidden in there, so we weren't able to show you any of those artifacts, but they were fabulous, spanning a huge period of time. We're going to do a bit more research and find out some more of the details, because this really is a fascinating site. Just one thing to note while we're here is a lot of what you can see is the original kind of stonework that was excavated, but of course this is at the top, so this was the most recent of the civilizations who lived here. And you can see the places, say the rebuilt wall and tower in the corner there, that was reconstructed in the 1980s to give an idea of what this place would have looked like back then. And I'll show you in a minute where you can actually see where the wall changes from the old structure to the new, to give a clear indication that what the modern reconstructed areas are. But it certainly gives a really nice feel for the place, doesn't it?
It does, fantastic, really good.
Right, this is one of the places where you can see this line that goes along, and that's marking the boundary between the old stones and what was reconstructed when the site was being refurbished. I think they did that at the end of the excavations to turn it into a kind of a place that you can visit rather than an active archaeological dig. That is quite spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chudnite Scarly, or the Wonderful Rocks, are a crazy rock formation alongside the shore of the Sonevo reservoir in Bulgaria. Despite being a fabulous natural feature, at some time long ago they decided to bore a tunnel straight through it to bring the road through. Well, that's not something that would be done today, but it does provide the opportunity to drive your van straight through the middle of these crazy rocks. Sometimes the best places take a little effort to reach. We drove 3 miles on this deeply rutted mud track to find this stunning park up alongside the Sonevo reservoir, near the village of Aspurhavo. Luckily it didn't rain overnight, and we were also able to get back out to the road the next morning. And just in case you are wondering, this is a legal public road and we were entirely allowed to park here for the night.
So this is what sunflowers look like just before they're harvested. Not as pretty as they were a couple of months ago, and there are millions of them. The journey back to the road was so much easier this morning because at least we knew where we were going. We'll leave you now flying over the beautiful Bulgarian countryside. Please like and subscribe so that you don't miss next week's episode when we're visiting more of the fabulous Bulgaria.